60 years of the PGA, believe it or not, 30 years staging it here at Wentworth, and 10 years of BMW. So it's quite a year for anniversaries and celebration. The other bit of celebration is that we've just signed a new 4-year deal with BMW to sponsor the event through to 2018, and that gives us a bit of security going forward, knowing that we've got our partner involved, and we can do some serious planning for how we take it forward to the next level through to 2018. Understand that not everybody who comes here is going to be a absolute dyed-in-the-wool golf fan, because you're limiting yourself to a very small market. What we're actually going to do is to say this is actually a really big event in event terms. Our golfers are the heroes here. Those are the guys that. This is not just a golf tournament. It's actually a social event. It's an event that will appeal to many different sorts of people. But golf happens to be the product. But if you never even go on the golf course and you choose to be around the village and watch the TV and look at the big screen and enjoy what's going on here and come and have a nice meal and something good to drink, you can have a great time too. The golf is always the main product. We had 100,000 here last year. I'm hopeful we can do something around that this year. Hopefully we'll get there. We'd like to get to 100,000 if we can, and that means that that's pretty substantial numbers. The Players Lounge, we have 150 players. We have the majority of them bringing their wives or girlfriends, and a lot of them bring their families. And this event, because it's such a big event, they get more passes for their Players Lounge than they do at other events. So it's a very popular stop off on the calendar. It's also the first event in Britain, so all of the British contingent come. And I don't think we changed the Players Lounge in square footage terms, actually, probably since we started. We had a rain delay and a call off, and all the players came off the course, caddies came off the course, family came off the course, and they all went into the Players Lounge for shelter. It was absolutely rammed, nowhere to sit. It was just it was a too small a unit, and I said, right, we're never going to do that again. That's just sending out the worst message to our players. We've got to have the best facilities here that they'll find anywhere on the tour. So we set about solving that, and we were going to put a double-decker facility because we're limited with the amount of square meterage. The Players Lounge, double-decker Players Lounge, they've got a beautiful balcony area, upstairs and lounge area, and downstairs is the restaurant, and we've got loos in there, and we've got the caddy lounge in there, and we've got a kitchen in there, and we've got the creche in there. And of course, the first couple of days have been really nice. So players have been in there, but not spending a lot of time in there. And I've been trying to move them upstairs. They haven't got used to 2 tiers. And then, of course, today we had the rain off, and it was absolutely rammed up. Both floors were totally full. I think we had 272 people sitting down in there at the one time. Thomas Bjorn, who's our chairman of our tournament committee, who's a pretty stern Dane. He says what he feels, and he's pretty scary sometimes in terms of what he asks of us, which is great because he keeps us on our toes. And he came up to me and said, Jamie, actually this is really good. This is fantastic. He might just have shot 10 under, which is what he had done, which does help, of course. But nevertheless, he just said, this is brilliant. This is. And suddenly, it dawned on me we'd done the right thing. The 18th green is now one of those, I think it's one of those holes now, which is a great finishing hole. It's really spectacular. You've got the little burn in front of it, and do you or don't you go for it, and all that sort of stuff. And we've been trying with Arena to find a way of getting more and more seats into the area. And it's one of those things that's grown organically. We work with seating, arena seating. Each year I say, right, okay, we want more seats, but I'm kind of a stickler for the backdrop. We have a huge backdrop that goes around the 18th green. You can see it behind me, and that's an iconic part of the tournament. We can't lose that. So Bradley Merchant and the rest of his team have been working last year to try and sort the problem out. And this year we managed to crack it. We've got 2,500 seats in there. It must be the biggest grandstand in the European Tour Golf. It looks fantastic. And said to him, I think it was a weekend, he came over to have a look at it. I said, right, it's a great grandstand, but we need more seats. So he's now working on finding us some more seats in there, and that's the challenge for next year. But that's all changed. We've got this beautiful Arcos structure, and it's probably the best hospitality facility in golf. Certainly, we entertain up to 900 people the other day, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And we work with Detail, who do the interior. Every year we do more things. We've actually put 15 metres more on that this year. Greco have been providing our generators. We've got Icon providing the signage. We've worked with them for many, many years. DPI do our interiors and some of our other tents. Expo Floor do our flooring. Freeman's have done our floral. So, I mean, some really good lasting partnerships. We tend to make friends and keep friends.
Muir, CEO of Arena Group UK and Europe. We are at Wentworth. It's the 60th anniversary of the BMW Championship, one that Arena Group's had a long lineage of association with. And this year is the biggest and, dare I say, the best that we have yet produced in association with the European Tour. It's a fantastic event. It's the flagship, the start of the main golf season. It's all about small changes, listening to the brand, listening to what the European Tour want, what the European Tour supply partners want, and what BMW, most importantly, the brand, want to reflect. Big year for the UK, coming off the Olympics in 2012. 2013 was a quieter sporting year in the UK and Europe. This year we're back with a full stable of events, along with Commonwealth Games, where we're the official structure, seating and exhibition services provider, and one of the main providers at Ryder Cup for a whole range of services from furniture, scaffolding, seats and structures.
I'm Dave Withey. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director for the Arena Group UK and Europe, and we're sat here in the BMW Pavilion at Wentworth on the first day of the BMW PGA Championships. We're working around the 18th green here at Wentworth. We have to make sure that we don't damage the grounds, the green and the areas around the green. So 2014 has already been a very busy year for arena seating. We've probably provided various different setups for 40 or 50 events thus far. Not only do we have the BMW Championships on this weekend, but what illustrates the range of equipment and the range of clients that we service over the 12-month period is illustrated by, we're just finishing the World Cup in Brazil at the Sao Paulo Stadium, but just as important are the 150 seats we have in at Fountain Studios for a pilot show of a television programme.
Jon Clinton. I work independently as a consultant to the European Tour on the operations side. So I've been assisting them this year looking after the BMW Championship on the logistics side, on the construction side, and generally with the golf side as well. So I've worked with these guys for many years on different projects when I was at IMG, and since Christmas spent sort of 2 or 3 days a week working with them, ramping up to when we started to build now, more than full time, I suppose is the best way to describe it. The relationships we have with the contractors is very strong, so that they know what we want. We're very reliant upon them too, so we're very conscious that they do a great job for us as well. Obviously, bring something else to the table, that I do other types of projects that aren't just golf tournaments, so that sort of helps because you can slightly see it through different eyes and maybe bring something new that isn't already done. We met with the band a few months ago. It's the Jones gang. It's Kenny Jones from The Who, and there's a few other guys who have been in touring bands like Procol Harum. They came to see the site. Of course, it was a building site, and then they came today again, had a look around, shocked by what they saw, really, in a nice way. So they're looking forward to it. So that was with one of the guys from the band, Rick, who's the bassist. But also talking to the technical guys so that we can deliver something it's not a festival, but we understand what they require, so that helps, which is, they're not used to that at golf tournaments, so it's quite useful for these guys to have someone, I suppose, with a bit of experience doing something like that, so that's worked pretty well. A music event is about the crowd who go, and this is for BMW. Obviously you've got the crowd, which is one thing, the TV side, the brand opportunity. It's also, if you like, a little bit easier to make it pretty with, fantastic 80 grand cars. And BMW really try hard, so that's very important. Golf courses is a bit of a law unto themselves, so we have to be very sensitive, more sensitive to members than we would be anywhere else. The members are all powerful, so we have to be very conscious of that. We have to adhere to their rules. So although it's our venue for the week, it's still their home venue. Frustrating sometimes, but it's a special place.